This is how I lit this scene at night. So first, for some backstory, this was part of a montage commercial, and this specific scene was a breakfast in bed between a couple, and this was actually planned for earlier in the day, but as things shifted and schedules changed, we actually needed to shoot this later on in the evening, so the sun was already down. And here are some of the hurdles we had to overcome when lighting this scene. The first and arguably the biggest hurdle was that we were on the 8th or 9th floor, and we couldn't just shine a 1200D through the window to create some shape and depth and light the space from the outside, so we had to light inside the space. The second hurdle was that all the walls and the ceiling were white. So for those that know, shooting in a white room, particularly a white small room, it's very hard to create shadows and depth just because the light just bounces everywhere, particularly on your subject and on the background, and overall it's not the ideal scenario. And the third hurdle is that all the furniture was built into the room itself. So I couldn't cheat the bed away from the wall to create some more shadows and depth. I couldn't move the nightstand, I couldn't move the dresser. So I started by putting an 8x8 ultra balance along the window side of the room with the white facing the room. Then I had a 600D and a 1200D, both shooting up towards the top of the ultra bounce. Then I put up an 8x8 magic cloth, and I got the right corner as close as I could to the center of the room just to create enough wrap on both talent. And we pretty much made a huge book light. But the issue is that the light was spilling everywhere and it didn't look realistically like window light. So what I ended up doing was I ended up putting black ferny pads on this wall right here, and I put a flag to cut the bottom of the light here, and then another flag to cut the bottom of the light here. And this was just to emphasize the top portion of the book light, just to make it seem more like window light. And I tried to make the most depth possible, so I decided to shoot looking into the room from this direction right here. But then I needed to light the door frame itself as well, because there's no existing light in that room at all. So I had to put a 600D on the living room as well. I just shot it straight into the ceiling, and it had a nice little fall off, super soft, very simple, very straightforward. And then when I went in for that side, I just had someone on my right side standing with a flag just to create more shape and more depth, and I thought it turned out pretty nicely. And there's definitely many ways to have lit this scene, but this is what I decided to do, especially with the budget and time constraints that I did have, considering that it was a montage commercial. If you like these lighting breakdowns, definitely let me know down below. I'm trying to channel my inner wandering DP. If you don't know who that is, definitely check him out. This is a whole inspiration just from his channel alone. Super big fan. But yeah, man, this is Giancarlo here from G Crusty Pork. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.